We are rolling, people.
Okay, hi everyone who is 0 viewers online so far, but anybody who watches anybody who watches it back, hi, hello to you. It's so funny when I was like, oh, all the viewers out there, and there's like 2 or 3, but I do know that a lot of people actually do watch it, which is really cool. So hello to anybody who's out there in the cyberspace. My name is Elise, and this is a very intimate MindFit today. I'm really excited, actually, because we can go there and, MindFit in and of itself is a concept where we're able to look at our life and how we live it, how we relate to ourselves, and how we relate to others in a different and new way, right? The thing that I've learned throughout this whole process of personal development, transformation, growth, is that nothing is ever right or wrong. It's really just the perspective, right? Because Karen and I could both be looking at my phone, and I see the black screen, and she's like, "No, the phone isn't black; it's green." Because there's obviously the green case, it's a dark green. But I'm like, "No, it's black." And you're like, "No, it's green." We're both right. It's just all the perspective. So if you can really start to look at everything that happens in your life from multiple perspectives, your anger will decrease, your sadness will decrease, your happiness and your joy will increase. Because you see that it might not be the way that you think it is. Like, no, it's really that way. And you're like, oh, if I just take a step back and like tilt just a little bit, it's a totally different scenario. So as we talk about conversation, just think about that. And anything that you share today is shared honestly and truthfully, and we want you to go to a space where like, oh, this is what happened in my life, but instead of taking us all back there in the pain and the anger, the sorrow, or whatever it is, tell us a little bit about it and then share with us what you love. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And then I think this is your first time in MindFit. Is this your first time in MindFit? Yeah. Okay, cool, yay! Yeah! Alright, we might just share your name. So we're not, I know, but share your name so everybody knows who you are.
My name is
Misty. Yeah. Awesome. And you were invited by Karen. Awesome. I'm Latrice, and I'm a coach, global coach at back. Yeah, she was in New York whenever we started MindFit. So this is her first MindFit, and I'm excited about it. So today's topic, for those of you who come to the workouts and everything, you know that each different week we have a different topic, a different theme for you. So vision is our theme. So vision is going to be our topic that we discussed today. Vision is very broad, in my opinion, so I think there's going to be a lot of conversation that comes up tonight, and it's going to be perfect. It always is. There's always the perfect conversation, the perfect thing that somebody said that really hits you. So I'm going to start just kind of with how I think of and see vision, and then we'll open it up to how you guys experience what vision means to you. So vision to me is where I see myself in the world. It's kind of like the most basic version of how I see vision. So what brought to my attention was that vision could be right now, in this moment. Like, how do I envision myself being? Mm-hmm. Did I prep for this? Did I not? How do I want to be with that? Like, that could be a vision. A vision could be while you're working out, and the vision that you have of your body, and where you want to get to. And it can also be the massive vision of like planet, family, like all of that stuff. And I do think that there's a difference between goals and vision. I think goals are what you set in order to reach your vision. So I was thinking a lot about that this morning. I don't know why, but goals have to be that person. Vision is not really different. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about vision. So it's totally open forum. You don't have to share, but for the research, then it could be really cool if we did share. And then as we share what vision is throughout the hour here, I'd like to actually start talking about what your vision is. Mm-hmm. So like what vision means to you, but then my intention is that it morphs into talking about actual vision. And I think sometimes the fear can come up when somebody's like, hey, what's your vision for your life? It can be this like, right? I know I've been in that place like a lot before. So it's not really a normal question that people just ask that. But that's who we get to become. We get to be those people that stop someone on the street and say, hey, what's your vision for your life? You know, because even if someone doesn't have an answer in the moment, I guarantee they're going to go home with an answer. So, what does vision mean to you guys? Yeah, go. Everyone will come in.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that.
That's okay.
So,
What vision means or what vision for your life?
I think, well, it's interesting to me, like, when people talk about, or when I'm asked what is my vision for my life, there are ways that I want my life to feel, but I'm finding it to be good for me to not be attached to what the end thing looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people say, what's your vision for your life? Okay, maybe I want to be married, maybe I have 2 kids, and have a house, and a car. That's all like attachment to like what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily know if that's the right way to go about creating your life, or creating the things that you want. And so I feel like that I've had a shift. I've never been attached to what the end thing looks like. And so when people ask me now what my vision is for my life, it's more of a feeling. It's more of, like, so I know how I want my life to feel, and I know how I want to live in it, but I'm not attached to what, like, it outwardly appears as. That's sort of the how in a way that I think
It's really important because when you have this vision, it's like, yes, fear does come out because the meaning if you feel it's so big, you almost lose yourself because it could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, you know what to do. So I'm honestly reminding myself that every single day, you know what it's going to feel like, and you can start doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when it does happen, you know, your vision is again. And I think that's what it is for me. It's like vision is like, it goes over all the time. I don't think it's just one thing. Like you could say, in a big house, or an amazing family, hoping to be family, or traveling away. It's like, that's not what we do. And I think so many times when you ask people that question of, what's your vision, or what do you see yourself in 5 years? They just tell you this one thing, maybe it's like 3 sentences, and that's it. That's not what it is. It's never going to end. It's the one thing that it happens when you have your kids and you have your big house. Like,
But then you don't have the feelings behind it or something. You know, you can say, I want a house, I want a car, I want a BMW, and all of a sudden I want a house, I want a BMW, and then I'm like, I don't really feel it. So I feel like that when people ask me what my vision is now, like there's like a richness that I want, there's pride in my life, there's a vitality, there's a connection. Like these are the things that I envision more that move me forward and help me stay vibrationally like headed towards the right place, other than in 5 years I want to own a house in every place. You know, like, to me, like that, I can do that, but that's not what is important. But we can still be the things, the richness, and the missing.
it's not often you hear people say, I just want connection.
But that's something that I can create now, something that I can create.
And I think vision is like some good visualization, because that's when you feel like, and you can see it, it's saying that your body's experiencing it, and if you've never done visualization, it's amazing. You just have to get quiet. I've been doing it for years. Meditation, visualization, whatever you like to do it, but I've been doing it for a long time with sports, with swimming and stuff. Like getting to a point where I can sit and feel arms in my mind and stuff. Like that, yeah, so it takes a lot of practice. And then I'm sharing that because we have another workout with a different team up at the top of the hill where we used to do our workouts on Monday, and one of the guys that we did install, and at the end of the workout, after everyone's completely exhausted, all these things about creating this, setting the goals, and we had us to sit quiet. It's hot outside, but we just get quiet for a second. And I want you to imagine that you're you know, and it's like this is true of everything, like you're human, right under your feet, but it's going to feel like it's cool, but something else really doesn't feel like it. I think that's something as leaders, we have to learn we have to break that. What are the sometimes I think we have to wait and all of
Right.
They're in a big house by themselves.
Right. But then if you got that, it would feel so empty, right? You know? It's like a shell. And then you realize that that's not what you wanted. And then I guess that's where it's so important in the wording. You know, but so I've thought that since I was a child, you know. If I say I want to go to Disneyland, then that means my mom can't go. Because I didn't say I want to go to Disneyland, my mom said, you know?
I just want to vision for me is like 4 steps. Vision for me is like levels. Vision for me, as you were saying, meditate. Scientifically speaking, we have chakra levels in our body, and so when you begin to meditate, you begin to align yourself with your inner self. You begin to sit in the seat of your soul, and you begin to feel the fact that those emotions, they're mustering up inside of you, they're stirring. You know that you want to reach people's hearts. Like when you were saying my vision. My vision is to reach people's hearts. I want to be able to allow them to drink from my fountain of love. I want to be able to allow them to feel my vibrations flow, and they begin to feed off of everything that I give out. Because with giving out all these positive vibrations, in turn, I'm giving them back to myself, which gives me wholeness. And with that is leveling up, with that is vision, with that is foresight, so I can begin to see into my future, because with all that comes abundance.
Yeah. Preach. Abraham Hicks, and they were talking about making a lifestyle of living in that vibration. It's not reaching that vibration. It's not like the end point, but it's making a lifestyle of being.
Because we have so many different religions, but spirituality is totally different from religion. Yeah. It's knowing thyself, like I said, it's sitting in that seat of your soul, knowing that you are deeply rooted within yourself, and nobody can come to help with you. That's your vision. You know, you're able to, like, vision to me is I can reach you, and I know if you're helping for me. That's my vision, because I'm able to see through the outer exterior, and I'm able to read the type of person that I'm dealing with right there. So my vision tells me that you are absolutely a beautiful person. Like it's like you said, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. And once you reach that point, I feel like the universe conspires to bring you everything that you need, and you have no worries. You're no longer surviving like this.
Yeah, I mean, how often in these classes do we talk about, you know, like just being a human in this world, and then actually living and being awake in this world? It is absolutely completely different. It really is. I mean, the time that I was asleep, walking around and didn't even know it. And thank goodness, you know, there's been this light and this reflection and coming to know my soul and coming to know myself and hearing and channeling. And, you know, when you're able to get quiet, holy moly, like, everything is possible.
You start to see colors too. Like I know I do when I meditate, and those are your chakra levels. Your chakra levels represent your gland, your pineal gland, your thyroid gland. So with me saying knowing thyself, you begin to know the interactions of your own bodily organs, from your heart to your brain to your spine to your lungs. You begin to feel it all. That's why sometimes when I sit in meditation, I just feel myself. Like I feel my hand twitching. I feel my heart pulsating. I feel my lungs going in and out. And it's like, wow, like I'm feeling all this. And once you begin to get that fullness of yourself, that's how I have control now. So now that I have control over my body, I have total control over my life and my future. There you go, you're powerful.
at that point, as a woman, too, I think extremely land. Our lives can be so run by our hormones. But like in reality, watching that video, I mean, this was something I knew before watching that TED Talk that we watched. That our reality as women actually changes based on our hormones. If you just let those hormones while in, while out, then you're a different person from week to week, day to day. And, it doesn't. You don't have to let yourself run that way. You can experience your reality shift, and it becomes like a journey instead of like you wake up like, who am I today?
I'm a Scorpio, and like I'm a very emotional person. And like you said, we really have to share certain things. Like I've been on my own since I was 16. Nobody's really done anything for me. Like I feel like God honors the prayer of that. That's what it looks to me. Because I kind of learned into finding myself. Like I never really got it from my parents. It was a lot of trauma and drama. But at the same time, all that pain is preparation for my destiny. And one thing I can always remember is that I always had an intimate relationship with my spirit. Never really knowing what division to take or whatnot, but I always kept that to me. It's like, God, give me strength, give me perseverance, give me love, give me compassion. These are the things I ask for. And most of the time, when we're checked out of conscience, we tend to ask for, God, give me a car, give me transportation, give me a job, give me this, give me that. These are material things that can be easily taken away from you. But once you gain knowledge, it can't be taken. Once you understand love, it can't be taken. It's like these are certain things that you begin to grasp. It's like with all that I was getting, to understand. And once I got understanding, I was able to feel my destiny. And it's like, okay, whatever happened as a child, I don't care anymore. All that just made me even stronger now. And it's like I can be a testimony to another young lady who's lost, like 16 years old, not knowing where to go, not even knowing if she's pretty or not, even worthy to be on this planet. And like as many of you go to those things, I know I did. Like I didn't even know who I was as a black woman, and just being able to realize that is liberating. It is,
and how beautiful and amazing and incredible, and like, just like what a blessing to have gone that way versus continue to stray. There's always the option of how amazing the decisions are. Because everybody has a different story. Like my boyfriend, you want to school your kid, you visit all the time, but it's weird because he wishes he could trade places to me. Like, I wish I grew up the way you did. Like, I would tell him certain stories because he feels like it made me such a strong person. And with him, he's striving, he's trying to become that man, that strong force and hold it down. But it's like, everybody's story is different, but you gotta keep pushing. Honestly, what happens? Like, and it's nothing we can do about it. Like, we just have to learn how to realize that emotions are like filters. They come and they go, so let them filter away, just like the river, like just let them move through you. And I'm still learning this type of business with them. Like, it is hard. I have come across so many trials and tribulations, but at the same time, it's about comfort, getting you through it. Like, in business, we're all in business, it's kind of like that. You may come across certain obstacles, you just have to get through it. Being able to stay within the line and shit happens. I think that's where if we bring it back to the concept of vision, like when the shit happens, that if we are connected to our vision, we know that whatever is happening in that moment will pass. It's having that consistent vision. We talk a lot about our why. Why are we doing this business? Why do we want to grow? Why, like everything doing the really with the purpose behind it that will drive us through those harder times, drive us through the path that gets stuck on us. And all I say is, I got that. Yeah, I'm gonna climb over it. I'm gonna work. Let's try to go under it this time. It's like we learn the tools and the skills, and when we can see our vision, we're connected to something higher than ourselves. There's always a way around it. There's always a way through it, up, down. Whatever it may be, there's always going to be a new window with whatever purpose for us. And I really love this whole concept of everyone sharing about the feeling of vision. Because really, if you think about it, we always talk about the mask that people build up, right? The mask and the walls and the this and like plaster the sky on to make it okay. That is almost how I see and hear like someone says, oh, my vision is to have a house, my vision is to have a car, and I don't know what that lake is. It's like that's the max of their vision. Where the fear maybe I never want to be alone. And the fear maybe is, it's like their vision can actually support and overcoming their fears. If you connect the two, it's like, okay, if someone has a fear of being alone, my vision is to be surrounded with people, with love, connection, you know, a spirit that is supported in every area of my life. You know, so it's like the richness. I love how you said that. Like that really is the richness of living. And I was with one of my friends yesterday, and she picked her up from the airport. She's going through a tough time with one of her loved ones, and we were just chatting about life and life concepts. And she was like, "Did you ever imagine that you, like 5 years ago, that you would be doing what you are now?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Yes, but no," because I knew that I was going to make a massive impact. And I knew that the spiritual realm, the holistic realm was a place where I would really feel. But I had no idea that by saying yes to Herbalife, that I would make my spiritual mentors, that I would, you know, build a business, helping people do this, have a conversation like this, and build a spiritual healing business as well. Like I had no idea, but yet I knew. Like my soul knew, but to put it in the words, to be in this moment, I don't know that I could have done that. So it was like really interesting when she asked me that. So I was like, yes, but no. It's like I knew I would have some sort of something that I was stepping into. It was going to be more than what I was. And it's happened millions. And I can only imagine like where it's going to go and where the wind will take me. And I am no longer attached. I used to be attached. It's like I could say I want this like beautiful tropical home and but I may end up in a cottage on a vineyard. And in that moment it will be so perfect for that. Who knows? It's like it's just such an amazing thing. So I do think vision is like I know there will be bigness and I know there will be this fulfillment because it's already happening. And so it's like how many people can I bring it to? And within that, my vision will be better. You know, having people know their source is what I want to say.
I will be what I can be. I will be what I can be. But they contradict each other, but at the same time, they activate the subconscious mind. Now, we have two levels in our mind scientists. You have conscious and you have a subconscious. So when you were saying that your spirit already knew it, was your subconscious. But all you have to do is activate it. So it's like your conscious is your action. You're putting all this into action, but is your subconscious at peace with it? It's like you're telling it, but then you have to activate it. So we have two different levels of that. When you meditate, you know, you activate that subconscious mind, and then you put that into action.
When I think of vision, if you would have asked me about vision a year ago, I would have said, you know, I want to be on this national commercial, I want this much money in my account, I want this kind of house. But just being more personally developed and being around this community, when I think of vision now, I think of actually being whole, being harmonious, being happy, just being okay with myself and not worry about the world and the judgment, you know, just really, really being whole is what I see vision for myself now, just being confident in myself.
When I think about vision for me too, I just keep thinking about the way that I personally see more vision expand.
Right. We've talked.
Which is another way of looking at vision, which I was sharing a little bit with Elise whenever we started talking about vision, because there's, you know, your vision for your life, and then there's what you can see and what you're open to seeing in your daily life. You know, and people say we see what we want, which is always an interesting thing to me because it's completely true. It's the same as the other day, and I talked about perfection, and that perfection, we see perfection from the eye of the beholder. We choose to see it when it exists. It doesn't mean that imperfection doesn't exist on the same plane or at the same time, but you choose to focus on the perfection, and that's what you see, and then you don't see the imperfection. So a lot of times when we get into relationships, we choose to focus on the perfection at first, and then I don't know if it's fear or what it is that jars us away from, the excitement or whatever it is about the perfection, and then we then choose to focus on the imperfection because we don't know where it goes. And it's not like that person just becomes in the way, or becomes, not what you think that they are, because they are the same person, but you're choosing to see something else. And you can take a step back and choose to see the perfection that exists in it. And so it's just like we have control over what we choose to see.
I think the way you're showing is changing the control. We have some meditation and all that, and I love that. I've really been doing the yoga class. I haven't really done that. I was in sports, competitive, and masculine stuff around me. I really got to go like from everything was tangible. All my goals were tangible. Everything was right there. I can reach it. And it's not until right now I'm starting this, and I'm just like, I've never walked in this world.
Right.
And the spirituality, like my family has never, we got a church that we kind of just been there for years. And it's everything that's like a culture thing, and we have to get it. You have to get commitments, and it's just a tradition. It's not really like, I'm actually listening to the sermon, I'm actually absorbing. Like, I'm just kind of there. I'm just kind of in it. So it's like, to me, it's my vision is scared me. I'm afraid of leaving. When I hear that word, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be afraid of it. And my vision is afraid of leaving my cars.
A lot of women's vision every day.
My vision now, where I'm starting to, is to a proper place. So, doing this every teacher. I'm excited to go there, but it's definitely, I know it's going to be great. My friends are saying, oh, no, I'm not doing it. I'm trying not to be like stressed when I'm doing yoga, but I'm like trying to breathe, but I can't. It's like, but I know I'll get there. But it definitely is. And so my vision right now, like I said, it's kind of like, I think I have goals, not necessarily a vision. It's a goal for good again. All I see in the vision is like, oh, my family. I know for sure that's it. I love it. Yeah. So
this is the relation between bettering your family and bettering yourself. That's the thing. The more you work on yourself, the more you're going to expand. It's really exciting because you're starting.
Exactly. And that's
It's going to be so crazy.
And I'm trying to honest my word. I know it's like after everything I'm so passionate about something so soft is a little bit so probably was happening like the last few years of season is kind of like that. For the library, I have to know, I have to practice, I have to do right. I don't want to go to practice, and then I this pain, it's like refreshing to do that practice. And then you talk about this in like a long time. I'm not a very passionate person. I'm just emotional. So when I'm passionate about something, you talk to me every day, you're happy. They're not happy with it. Even when you try to put on that smile, you'll be like, no, I'm still like,
And how, like, using you as a perfect example, like, how incredible there's so many small things that accepting of this. We don't know that there's an inner self and a higher guidance system that can give them all the answers. Because they already lie with them. It's like everything has become so outwardly attached. And, like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm like kind of emotional right now because like I've seen you come in from day one and like the few weeks that you've been around and in this conversation and like I'm so honored.
I was really fun. I was kind of like looking at everything. Like, stay here, open, like that. It took me a while since May. I kind of was just doing products and
Thank you for sharing that. It is emotional to see the woman like start on the wheel and to know like what you're going to be going through. It's just like you're gonna look back and be like, I wasn't doing that. Like it makes me emotional because I think back and I'm just like, whoa, like, you're just gonna be like, like standing around with your mouth open going, this is the most important thing ever. And the way you're gonna be able to meet people and know people is like really, really deep level, like whether they're gonna stay in your life or not, you're not attached to that, but like it's just so incredible. Super exciting.
It makes you think of it when you first felt that feeling. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when you first felt that feeling of there's a whole other world out there. Yeah, because it's just like when you first, I think my first, it was like back in 1999 when I watched The Secret. And I was like, what? Why did my mom teach me this? I was like going crazy. And I just remember, I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy that. Like, it was just like opened up all these doors. And I started reading all these books, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Napoleon Hill, Think Well. It's all these things, The Secret, before even Herbalife, I was reading these books. It was like, it's a whole other world. So it's so exciting. So that's why they're so emotional. Because you think about how you felt when you discovered this beautiful world.
We say it's a whole other world, but then it's actually home.
Yes. Yes.
That world is actually home. That's why I don't always think about it. When I share my stories sometimes of having a little relationship, I always think, especially with people, if the world put you in that, and you don't even know it, and you literally could be wrong what you're supposed to like, the way your family shaped you, your environment where you're living, you have no idea that you can know that you're it's like this journey is so magical. It's like I'm emotional about really like excited for you and for myself and for everyone here. It's just like just the beginning. Like we're really just yeah. I know it's me and I have really truly like I was saying it's a lot of things. I don't see really like a little nervous because I read and I do a lot of research and it's funny because a lot of things that I should have obtained in college and in high school, these are the things that they don't teach us in the world. These are like, oh my God, to the point to where in Texas they completely, I know it's not a subject, but they completely took out like our history of us being like slaves. We're no longer slaves, we're involuntary internships. This is what the new society is going to call us now. And not even going into that, just with me personally, that it's so much that I did not know about myself, about my culture, that they will not explain to me. And the fact that I'm getting all this information from my old, people that have the wisdom, it's really so pretty, so that's where it came to me, which is leveling up and starting to look at my life from a totally different vision because I'm really truly finding out like who I am. It's liberating. That's all I can say. It really is. Liberating. So like when you think about like just bondage being passed on from some people, some things I know that we talked about it a lot before, and like I have a friend that I talk about a lot of this stuff. He's Black man, and like just like all is passed on, and like there's just something in my spirit that I know that like resonates, some sort of understanding about that. I don't know what that is or like where it's come from, but it's just just like an example of corporate country and only very advertised, Mother Earth, and everyone in the entire planet like to want homes and the directly parallel, so that's what So it's like, that right there, and you can feel awesomeness, we can all tap into that level. Just think about it, so we all feel the vibrations of this earth. It would be crazy. I like to think like that. Right? Like, everybody's just, peace, but, with this universe, it's going to take its course anyway. You can all just try to have your own individual perspective about how you see fit, your life. So, connect with the people that choose to share your vision or open to sharing your vision, and then as you amass those sort of
communities of people around you, and then they share and they share, and they amass and they amass, and they multiply, and just spread it.
You know, the whole process is like, going back to the fact that everything we do affects other people. There's a ripple effect. There's a ripple effect when we meditate in our room a lot. Right. Yeah. Like even that one meditation, maybe the level of vibration that we have affects your neighbor who's next door in the fight. You don't know.
That is so true, you guys. Like, oh my God, my neighbors argue all the time for crazy stuff. Like, and one time I was quiet in my apartment, I was trying to work, and like all of a sudden just started arguing like really loud. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to do some things. I'm about to sit here and I'm about to meditate. 5 minutes later, it completely stopped. Like it was so stupid too. They would go on for hours and hours and hours because it's normal for us. But I was like, no, I'm tired of this. I'm about to sit here and meditate, and I didn't get that.
And that's such a, I mean, a beautiful example of one of my spiritual mentors she always taught me, like, when you want to help and you're across the world or you're across the country or even across the city and you're not able to physically go be with the person or whoever or whatever the situation is, the power of thought, the power of sending love. You know, someone in your life is going on. Yes, there's prayers, and there's also intentional sending of love, sending love, and sending help, sending rainbow. Like whatever it is, right? For whatever they're going through, but it's powerful. Like never underestimate, you know, sitting in bed at night and, you know, saying, I'm going to send love to every single one of you today and right there. You know, send a blessing, send a thanks, send a wish, whatever it is, because you have a lot more power than you think. And thought travels, I don't remember where I saw it and what the specific number, but thought travels at like quadruple, bajillion times faster than light. Or sound, I don't know.
It's crazy because when you notice that you're able to have that power, you start realizing it all around you every day. You're like, yeah, and you're not even surprised anymore. It's just like, oh,
yeah. And even like, I mean, I get to practice this more, but I remember there was a couple weeks where I practiced really diligently, where everything or person or dog or flower or whatever I passed into. I mean, it was a lot for those couple of weeks to really be conscious about it, but it's like I'm driving and, you know, I see a car like spinning around, you know, see a person, they have a beautiful day, like whatever it was, I'm sending blessings and thoughts to everything. And it is a habit, but I'm certainly not doing it as much as I would like to. So, yeah, if you want to take that practice. It's actually really cool because you become aware of your surroundings.
and when you're doing it, you're actually feeling it too.
Absolutely. It's like breathing in love, breathing out love, breathing in love, breathing out love. That cycle that you're saying, it's like such a cool experience.
It's like also like reaffirming their. I was reading Very Grateful last night, and she was talking about the serve relationship that we've sort of developed in our culture, where it's like you give instead of you, and so like when you're at the bank teller or if you drive through, people don't get off their phones, they don't make eye contact, it's like the other person doesn't exist, and how the person in that position it eventually wears on their psyche and their being, and they become an object. And they like take on, they're like almost a persona of an object, they're almost what they're doing, because, and that's almost, you can see like the caste system starting to like separate like these, you know, like these people that are objects, being treated as objects, these people that are treated as objects, like energetically move apart, as if you're not validating their existence, but you're not treating them as they're being seen.
Everything just is like I know and living about it, so I just go back to being in your truth and just being completely and you're sharing that. I had a guy, but when they come to organize, we actually did a plan, and I was like, cool. I'm not going to just bring it up about it. I just have to know what it is, and it was actually 2 months ago, and we signed up to school.
or even know why they're thinking about this or what the outcome could be. But he sent me a photo of a Hispanic woman who was in this process of this but she was overweight and he wanted me to like say these things about her, like 15 times for each different thing, like, oh, you're way too big, or like you're like costing or something like that. It was really weird to an assignment, and he sent it to me like, oh, did you get it? I was like, yeah, I got it. I actually can't do this. I just did it. And he's like, oh, it's not even like that. I said, no, like I had this expression. They didn't understand because it's never experienced that level. Like you heard someone share on that level, because it's had like 15 other people do the assignment. And I was just like, I can't say this about this thing now. And he was like, why? Like, it's not like, I was like, is she one of your classmates? And I was like, she's a friend. I was like, it doesn't matter if she sees these results with them or not. Once she hears it or looks at the paper, it comes to the attention. And I said, why? And I said, I can't say that. I should not been doing that to other people. And it's like, if I didn't stick to my truth, other people would have told me it was like that. You know, I'm probably the first person that told them no. He said, you need to teach people that everything that you say is a different. Like, she's going to do it.
Like actually like putting her boundaries. Like actually, you know, like putting her in change.
And it was because I wanted to like, it wasn't clear, it was kind of confusing. It's like, I don't even want to do those type of nutrition programs. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Like, it was that serious to me that from these conversations. It's just like the day you have to stay true to your word. And it takes a lot for you to stand up for yourself and make it real. Because most people don't do this. But now I'm like, that's not good. Like, why is your school even having to do this in the first place?
Right. Because you're saying those things about her and not from your own self.
You are saying about yourself.
But it made me feel sick. Yeah. Like, I can't do this. And he was cool. I was weird.
What was the purpose? What show you were trying to? That's crazy. Well, good for you. So
Yeah.
Maybe you gave him life to be like, maybe this is why. Like, you just go around doing it.
Because the fact that this is my vision is to empower women and have them feel good about themselves and to take a stand for themselves. I have to do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's a lot of things happening. Just distractions because we're on such a high level of vibration. That's all. Okay, battery taken care of. Phone taken care of.
Right, back.
And we're back. We have about 8 minutes left. Anything else about vision? That's really an incredible conversation.
I would just do off the notes to just keep your vision. Sometimes things come up in your life and they tend to throw you off your definite purpose. And like I feel like God gives you a definite purpose, one straight, narrow path. But as humans, we tend to swivel around. And it doesn't really mean that we're not getting to that definite purpose. It's just sometimes we kind of get, a little off track in our vision.
And there's the circles and the name, like,
I'm like, why is this happening to me again?
Right. And it's like that those lessons still talk about, but at the same time, it's like, okay, let's do that like a bonus definite purpose. At the same time, you do have to speak over yourself. Sometimes you do have to encourage yourself. Because it's hard, to really keep that strong faith within yourself in times and tribulations come. So I would just encourage all of you to keep that faith, like that perfect faith. Perfect faith. That's all I keep telling myself, like perfect faith. Because it's going to happen. And it's like those negative items, they come in to try to throw you off, and they try to fight against those positive items that are helping you and keeping you on the vision. So just stay encouraged with things. What was that you said about I can or something? Oh, I can be. That was Nicole Neal.
Oh, okay.
I can be what I will be. Yeah. I like that. Because it's actually talking to your subconscious.
Yeah.
I can be what I will be.
And that's vision right there. That's powerful.
Again, reminds me you have a pineal gland. And once you activate that pineal gland, that's your eye. They call it the third eye. You see with two, but then you activate with the other. So I can be what I will be.
All right, what are your snaps? Yeah, I think it's so.
Yeah, so I think we guys told about all of it. And I'm just saying of their, you know.
It doesn't even matter. It's perfect.
But,
It's perfect. I love it.
And look at
You're
how
not
much
the only
value.
one. I had that same feeling, and you have to work through it. It's fear, but it really doesn't exist. So when you work through it, it makes you so good.
So much value.
That's so much value. Yeah.
Get close to share. Yeah, share. Share with everyone. Yeah.
And we can make an intention to send love and light to like 5 people a day.
Yeah, intentionally send love and light. I love that. Choose to live the lifestyle of others.
Oh, I love that.
That is good.
That's good. Let me post that.
It's written on the mirror right now.
I love that.
Like vitality, proud, and then choose to live the lifestyle of others. Yeah, and ask. There's ask on there too. Okay, I think those three are perfect.
Yeah.
Choose to live in the vibration, share, and
Send love and light
and
to 5
love and light
people
to
a day.
5 people. I love that. It's very short and sweet.
Yes.
Beautiful! Happy Wednesday! Yay! Good job, you guys. Thank you. There is one viewer on.
Yeah.
Awesome. And whoever watches this back, happy vision to you. Bye.